Hey guys, this is Matt, and you are watching TV Punch for Monday, October 12th, and today I'm going to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 2. Now, this actually aired last Tuesday, so this is almost a week late, but when it aired, I was on vacation, so I wasn't able to record a video on it until just now, so apologies for the delay. The rest of them won't be so late, but I'm going to jump in and talk about, I usually in these videos talk about some of the things that I really thought were awesome, or some of the things that I liked the best. This episode didn't have a whole lot of really awesome things. There was one cool thing that we'll talk about at the end, but didn't have a whole lot of awesome, groundbreaking things that happened, but it did set the stage for some things to come. So I'm going to talk about the three big plot points that that happened during this episode. So with that said, be careful for spoilers if you haven't watched the episode yet. Pause this, go watch it, come back. You'll be glad you did. But the first major plot point was the fact that Ward is rebuilding Hydra, and he recruits Baron von Strucker's son, Alexander, to help him. So we haven't seen Ward yet this season. He wasn't in the first episode, or if he was only in it for just a minute. But he needs cash. He's gone out recruiting some Hydra agents, but he's going to need some money and some resources, basically, to help him rebuild Hydra. Baron von Strucker, if you remember, he was killed in Avengers Age of Ultron. So he goes to the next best thing, which is his son. Now his son is looks like a millionaire playboy, doesn't really have a whole lot of cares in the world, but they do, Ward and his one of his cronies that he recruited do kidnap Alexander, and Ward kind of has this thing about, he tells Alexander, you've never earned anything and you have to earn what you get. So he sets it up so that Alexander essentially has to kill Ward's crony in order to basically gain his trust and his respect. And Alexander does that. He's able to break free. He's able to kill his captor, which gets him in Ward's good graces. Ward kind of explains the plan, kind of explains how he plans to rebuild Hydra. And at the end of the episode, we see how Alexander is going to help. And I'm assuming he's going to be the financial backer as well. But we see Alexander approach Dr. Garner about enrolling into his psych class at the college he teaches at. So Dr. Garner is May's ex-husband who helps out S.H.I.E.L.D. from time to time with psych evaluations. So I think Alexander is going to he's not going to embed himself with S.H.I.E.L.D., but he's going to get close to Dr. Garner in order to get close to S.H.I.E.L.D. to see what they know. So the next plot point is May hanging out with her dad. Now, I know that may not sound like much, but we haven't seen this side of May before. We actually get some of her backstory that we haven't been privy to yet. We learn that when she was a little girl, she was a dancer. She took up martial arts because she jokes that they have padded floors, and she talks about how she used to fall down all the time, and she didn't like that. I think that her parents, or at least her mom, used to be spies as well, or agents of some kind. We have met her mom before. I don't think we've met her dad, but she's been hanging out with him sort of as a way just to get away from everything. After everything with Ward and the Inhumans, and she's a little bit uneasy with them, she just wants to get away from it all. Hunter actually comes calling because he is on a mission. He's going to take down Ward, and I don't know if his goal is to take down Hydra specifically, but he's definitely out for Ward. He's definitely out for blood, and he tries to recruit May several times, and she shoots him down at every turn. But he tells her what he's going to do. He heads off, lone wolf style, to take Ward down. And near the end of the episode, we see that she does rejoin him after some thinking. I think her dad actually sort of talks her into it a little bit. So the two of them, so the big plot device there is that May and Hunter are now going to go on a mission to take down Ward. Now, the way Hunter describes it is he's going to do kind of what Bobby did and join Hydra and sort of come up through the ranks. I don't know how great of a plan that is because they've had so many dealings with Hydra. Surely somebody has seen Hunter before, and May even mentions that to Hunter, if Ward sees his face, he's a dead man, but Hunter says if he's close enough for Ward to see his face, he's close enough to put a bullet in his head. So we'll see how that pans out. I don't know that that's the best idea, but we'll see how it plays out into the show. So the most major thing that happened in this episode was the fact that they got Simmons back. So that's great. Last episode I mentioned that I hope she wasn't gone or separated on whatever planet or wherever that was. I hope she wasn't gone too long. I don't like when shows split up characters, and I like when ensemble shows like this where they're all together. Just like The Walking Dead, they're finally all back together. They got back together last season, and I thought it made it a much better show. This is the same. We get Simmons back. Of course, we've got May and Hunter off doing their own thing, but we get Simmons back. At least she's not out on her own. So now we get to see sort of the fallout from everything that she went through. So they recruited help from Dr. Elliot Randolph, who played by Peter McNichol, who we saw last season. He's an ancient Asgardian, thousands of years old. He just likes hanging out on Earth. He doesn't really want to go back to Asgard. He likes where he's at. So they go recruiting help from him in order to understand the monolith, where it came from. He helps them track down an old castle with an old sort of almost kind of steampunky machine down in the basement that they realize can activate the monolith and basically activate the portal to get to where Simmons is. Through their experiments, the machine breaks, but during that process, Daisy realizes that she can activate it using her powers. So she's able to do that. It takes a lot of strain on her, so she can't do it long. They're going to send a probe through the portal, but instead Fitz jumps in himself. He's able to find Simmons. In a pretty tense moment, he's able to grab her and pull her back. He's on a winch. Daisy can't hold it anymore. They start to pull him back, but he's able to grab Simmons and pull her back too. And in the process, the monolith is destroyed, but I think everybody's okay with that. Professor Randolph said that he would help Coulson and everybody else if they agree to destroy the monolith afterwards. And Coulson is basically saying, yeah, that's fine. I'll sleep better at night knowing that it's destroyed. And it happens. So now we get to see Simmons deal with what she's gone through. So last season we saw Fitz deal with all of his issues that came from being locked underwater. He's come through all that, and like I said in last episode, he was a badass, and he was in this one too. So these last two episodes, Fitz has actually, in my opinion, been the star of the show. I've really enjoyed seeing his change in character. It's been a change for the better. I think he's really kind of come out of his shell and really taken the reins. It's because he cares for Simmons that much that he'll do whatever it takes to get her back, and this episode proved that. So he dealt with his issues last season. We're going to see Simmons deal with her issues this season, and I kind of think that she's going to be very clingy towards Fitz because he was the one who didn't stop looking for her. He's the one that saved her. I think she's going to stick to him, and there's a great scene at the very end where it looks like she's having some kind of nightmare. She jumps up, and then she sees Fitz sitting next to her, and she lays back down and falls asleep in his lap. So I think she's really going to cling to him in order to deal with what she's going through. So that's pretty much what happened this week. Not to sell anything short, because this was a good episode, but those were the three major plot points that I think are going to drive the direction of the season, at least to the midway point. We didn't really get anything from any other Inhumans. There was a part where Dr. Garner was sort of doing an evaluation of Joey that we saw from last episode. Daisy really wants Joey to be part of the team, and Dr. Garner said he's just not ready yet, and I'm inclined to agree with him. He says that he can't even open a door without melting the handle, so yeah, he probably needs to chill out a little bit before he can do anything. But it's cool because there was a nice Easter egg that Dr. Garner does reference the term Secret Warriors. He mentions the team that Daisy's trying to put together, and he does refer to them as Secret Warriors. So I hope they're going to stick to that name, because I like that name, and I like the idea that they are building a team of secret Inhumans, I guess, to do whatever they need to do to take down Hydra, or to deal with other Inhumans, or to deal with Lash. He wasn't in this episode, so we didn't see anything from him either. So that's a whole other thing that we're going to get next week. I don't know if Lash is going to be in it, but we do see that Lincoln is back, and they're trying to recruit him too, I think. So we are going to get some more Inhuman stuff next week, but this episode, we're just setting some things up in order to move forward. So I'm excited to see what happens. I think it's going to be really good. I'm going to keep doing videos on that. So if you want to check those out, be sure to subscribe by clicking the button below, or you can check us out on youtube.com/nerdpunch. And of course, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, all /nerdpunch. Or you can visit nerdpunch.com to see all of the other cool stuff that we're posting. And you can also check out our schedule of upcoming videos. There's going to be a lot of them, hopefully. I'm really excited for this season of TV between Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow and Flash and The Walking Dead, which we've got one of those coming up pretty soon. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, and I'm going to try to cover it all, so be sure to subscribe and follow it everywhere I just mentioned. But thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. See ya.